I thought I'll just take the opportunity to start off with bees. The world's bee population is under immense pressure. And we think it's because of insecticide use. In particular, a group of insecticides that comes out of the same group of nicotine, the neonicotinoids. And there's one that we use quite often in our day-to-day living. It's a chemical that you buy off the shelf at Bunnings, imidacloprid. And it's for lacewings, all the sap-eating beetles that eat up your veggie patch and your roses. But they're very toxic to bees. And a friend of mine that used to work with me, when he finished up on our project, he committed all his time and his money to protecting bees. He lives up in the hills. He was on one of the TV programs the other night. His business is called Postcode Honey. Well, the honeys are here today. Postcode Honey. And he goes out and he's got this vision of setting up hives in every postcode in WA. And then what we did is we take his honey, and for the last 2 years we sold the honey, and we committed to charities. And the one charity we supported was to save the Gilbert's pottery down in Albany. And last year there was a big fire and the reserve burned down. And we actually went and we saw Colin Barnett. By that stage we'd raised $14,000 for the pottery. So we sat down with the Premier, and he actually committed to 5 things. Amongst other things, finding sources of funding for Gilbert's pottery. It's the rarest mammal in the world. There are less than 40 left. And a month ago, we learned that funding request has been so successful that they've now raised, the Commonwealth has raised $250,000 for the pottery. And it all started off with us selling honey. It's like this, we really feel good about that. So now Sonia and I, we always commit to some little crazy thing. So we said, the pottery is now saved, what's next? So we are very troubled about suicide in our community. We are very troubled about suicide amongst the youth in our community. And we thought that we've been so blessed with this whole pottery campaign that we want to go and do something about suicide in our community. And Sonia was driving over the bridge there in Rouse Road. What is that bridge called there, where the dog race course is? And she witnessed the young girl try to jump off the bridge. And there was a guy there that luckily grabbed her by one arm. And there he was lying. She was too big to pull up, and he just had her by one hand. And she was full of scars from self-harm. Yet she was released the day before from hospital. And there's nowhere to go. And there was a girl that worked with me. She tried to commit suicide. She was very desperate. For years. And she started the charity called Gen Y, for that Generation Y. And they've been going now since 2009 on a shoestring budget. So we thought we'll sell this honey from here on for those that are mentally ill, because we are grasped by this horror of mentally ill, and some people escape it, and some people don't, and some people, like this girl, she got up and actually did something about that. And we think that's worth supporting. So we brought some honey to church today. Not to sweetmouth you, but to tell you this is the honey that we are going to use. It's got our postcode on it, 6211. Comes out of our block. And we brought some honey from across the river, from 6210, which is on Kudanap side, Mandra side. We think our honey is nicer than this honey. And there's some honey from Nanap, which is absolutely useless. But anyway. It's raw honey. It's unprocessed. It's got all the antibiotic and anti-preservative, anti-inflammatory properties. But it's the anti-inflammatory and the antibiotic of the world, where I think it's about healing people That's what we are about. So welcome to church. Long story. We are here to be healed. And when we are healed, we have a commitment, we have an obligation out there to help our community. Okay. Not through honey only, but let's pray. Dear Lord, thank you for a church whose doors are open. Always open. Not only for us that are well, but also for those of us that are unwell. For those of us that need our love, but primarily your love. Lord, help us when we realize that our well-being, our church's well-being, is dependent on you. Help us to go out from this church and be a resource, your helping hand in our community. Welcome to church. Amen.